39 and call your shot on the Riverwind Casino jackpot line at 405-329-9000.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
Wait, the cough button works now? I started talking because I thought I was unmuted. Turns out I was muted. I looked down, and the cough button was on. I didn't think that mattered because last week the cough button wasn't working.
Well, you know, if the cough button ever starts to work again, Steely's going to be the one that's switching that bad boy on and off.
Steely switches that thing loud, too. You can hear it on it.
Like,
you can hear it. He hits that thing. Oh, it's going to be a good old jam-packed Monday show here today, Mr. Singleton.
Yeah, man.
3 fresh OU commitments since last we broadcast. However, I would like to take this opportunity first and foremost to announce that I am running for public office. I don't even really know which public office, Grayson. I feel burdened to do something about the issue of drinkflation in our society.
Drinkflation?
Yes, we have discussed this before. I consider it one of the preeminent issues that our society faces today. Drinkflation looks like this. You go out to lunch, you go out to dinner, you pay $12 for a meal.
Yeah.
And then they charge you another $3.50, $3.79, whatever it is for a drink.
Mm-hmm.
When did this happen? When did this become socially acceptable? When did it become socially acceptable to charge $3 or $4 for a beverage? Because look, man, I get it. Like back in the day when I was growing up, you went to Chick-fil-A, you wanted to get a milkshake instead of a lemonade. You were paying an extra $3 or so. And you know what? Again, it's a confection. The milkshake is a confection. But you know what? When I go out to eat, you know what I want to drink with my food? I want tea. And what is tea?
Basically water with herbs. It's
water that you soaked a tea bag in, and maybe you threw a little bit of sugar in there. Depending on your proclivity, some people like sweet tea, some prefer unsweet. Me, I'm a half and half guy, but that's all I want. There's no way that cost you anything close to $3.79.
No.
We need dynamic beverage pricing in society. We need something that will eliminate this damning trend.
Well, I can tell you this. Do you have the Sonic app?
I do not have the Sonic app.
Drinks are always half price if you have the app. Like I can go get a large cherry limeade for about like $1.20.
See, I get that, but if I'm getting a meal, for instance, I'm stopping to get a meal, then you're telling me I gotta hit the road again to go to Sonic for my drink?
Oh, I guess you don't like eating at Sonic, which I mean, fair.
Yeah, no, miss me with that.
Yeah,
Sonic food.
I hear you.
Thumbs down. I know we'll probably fight about that on the text line because people in the great state of Oklahoma have very strong opinions about all things Sonic.
Wait, hold on. Y'all like eating food at Sonic?
Yeah, there are many. There are many on the text line who will affirm that they love Sonic food.
Ugh. No.
I'm with you. Trust me. I'm with you. Crimson Raven says, yes, drinkflation. Thank you, Parker. Since the last time you mentioned it, I know I have a word to describe this BS. Zach from Guthrie says, yes, and stop making me pay for the rest of the jug when my kids want a refill on chocolate milk. General Booty's Lieutenant, on the other hand, asked, Parker, will you commit to tackling hoflation?
Man, that's something we need to get under control.
Nothing I can do about that. That's above my pay grade. I'm not touching that one.
Wait,
405.
do you know what hoflation is?
Oh, yes, I'm very aware.
Okay.
I'm very aware of the concept of hoflation.
Okay.
I care more about drinkflation, though, because that directly affects my life. Hoflation, I'm past the phase in my life where that has any impact on my day-to-day. 405-651-3439. That's the First Liberty Bank text line. The show today is brought to you by Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno, family-owned and operated. Many of Dorsey Jones' employees have been with the company for 20-plus years. Experienced, passionate people, eager to assist you before, during, and after the buying process as they get you behind the wheel of a brand-new GMC. So head out to El Reno, check out Dorsey Jones. Okay, Grayson Singleton, going into the weekend, there were 5 uncommitted official visitors heading to Norman, America for their OU OVs. 72 hours later, 3 of those 5 are committed to the illustrious University of Oklahoma. The 2 we fully expected, wide receiver MALAHN Green out of St. Louis and offensive lineman JAXON LAWLER out of Amarillo, wasted no time locking in their spots. And then this morning, the news broke publicly that OU had completed the Blaylock family sweep. Torrey, of course, Torrey Blaylock, signed with Oklahoma as a 4-star running back in the 2025 cycle, led the Sooners in rushing last year as a true freshman, and now his younger brother Trent is headed to Oklahoma to play cornerback. The Sooners beating out Vanderbilt and Texas for the highly coveted cornerback out of Atascocita High School in Humble, Texas. And how about this cornerback class? Can we start here, Grayson? Because
Sure, yeah.
credit to Jay Valai, credit to Lamar Morgan, credit to Jim Nagy, credit all around, because this is a bang-up job that the Sooners did recruiting the cornerback position in the 27 cycle.
Well, yeah, and at that point you have to wonder, is there one more still coming down the pike? But, I mean, you look at Osborne, McCreary, Davis, and now Blaylock. You've kind of covered all your bases there. We've talked about the ability to move somebody like a Mikael McCreary to safety. So you've got one guy that can do that. Gabe obviously is one of the best corners in all of the country. And Trenton Blaylock has always been the one I've been keeping an eye on because that's the guy Lamar Morgan put a red eye on when he first got here. And I think there's value in a guy getting here and saying and looking at a prospect and saying, that's my guy. So that's why Trenton Blaylock, to me, was always a guy you wanted to have, because that's the guy that he didn't inherit him necessarily, but he put his own stamp of approval on there. To me, that's why you had to have him. And to me, 4 corners is good. I'd be sitting pretty there if they want to take a 5th. Should be a lot of fun to see how they duke that one out.
Yeah, and then the next question is, what about OU and Brandon Sherrard? I'll be honest, I think that kid winds up at LSU. It's an OU-LSU battle.
Right.
I don't think Oklahoma's really going to press the issue at this point because it's such a good class, man.
They got 4 solid dudes.
Mikael McCreary, Michael Davis, Gabriel Osborne, and Trenton Blaylock. Come on. You're set, man. You don't need a 5th. It'd be nice to have Brandon Sherrard, but he just took the OV to LSU. And he's one of those guys, when you say his name, Grayson, I can't explain why I feel this way.
Okay.
Brandon Sherrard sounds like an LSU Tiger. He doesn't sound like an Oklahoma Sooner.
He also sounds like a corner.
He does sound like a corner, which he is. But that's the type of guy that just sounds like an LSU Tiger.
Sure. Yeah, I'm here with it.
Again, not really sure how to explain that. Not really sure that the science behind that perception of mine. But Brandon Sherrard just sounds like an LSU
But
Tiger.
I mean, if you think about it though, different schools have their different personalities, and you can see. I guess you're saying I can better see Sherrard written on that purple on the back of the jersey than in cream on the back of it. Like I see where you're going here. I can get behind that.
A listener in the 865, the great state of Tennessee, says, "Hey, Parker's appearing quite exhausted. Can we get a confirmation that all is well?" Hey, all is indeed well. The Sooners are up to 25 commits in the 2027 cycle. On my end, everything's going pretty well. I probably appear tired because I did not sleep great last night. I was up way, way late. Would you care to venture a guess as to why?
That was going to be my next question.
Okay. Do you want to give this a guess? I can almost assure you will not be correct, but you can give it a shot.
I'm going to assume it wasn't because you were on the game.
I was not.
Okay, what was it? Were you watching Love Island with your wife?
No, I was not. My wife had been asleep for hours.
Okay.
I was doing battle with ants. Come to find out.
Where'd you have ants?
In our kitchen.
Oh.
Come to find out.
I had some in my kitchen a couple weeks ago.
The way our house is situated, there's a little hallway from our kitchen and dining area that leads to our bedroom and a coat closet that's right next to the garage door.
Mm-hmm. Come
to find out, there's a little seam in the baseboard under in the coat closet, I should say. Underneath the baseboard, there's this little seam in the coat closet that the ants had somehow found their way into. And a cavalcade of ants was marching to and from the coat closet on one end and our kitchen on the other end. And so I very quickly made a run out to town to get some white vinegar and some ant bait. On my way to the office this morning, I stopped, grabbed some clear caulk. We're going to seal up that baseboard.
Good.
And we're going to slime out all those ants.
Now, first of all, hearing you say you're going to slime out something was not on my bingo card for today, number one. But what led to this having to be taken care of? I'm going to assume at like 1 in the morning or something.
Because I noticed it like as I was getting ready for bed.
Oh, I see.
Like
okay,
walking through the house, turning out all the lights, making sure the door's locked.
Yeah.
I look down. Oh, there are ants, and many of them. So, yes, I was up for the next couple of hours, making sure that there was a plan in place to slime out those ants. So, hopefully, in the next couple of days, they will be fully eradicated.
Well, I hope for your sake they are too. Let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
If Brandon Sherrard does end up going to LSU, do you think Oklahoma goes another direction at corner, or do they just stay put with the four?
At this point, I don't think there's any reason to. You don't need 5 cornerbacks. You can make an argument you don't need 4, but Oklahoma got 4, and they're all really good. And this kind of played out perfectly. When you think about it, Grayson, back before Oklahoma offered and hosted Bryce Williams and Brandon Sherrard, who were the 2 cornerback targets we were talking about outside of McCreary and Davis who were already committed? It was Gabe Osborne
and Trent Blaylock.
And it was Trent Blaylock. And in the end, boom, Oklahoma got them both. I guess we were talking about Juju Johnson for a while. He wound up going to UCLA. But this is about as good as Lamar Morgan and the Sooners could have it in that cornerback room. What a class it is. And the same is true, by the way, of the Oklahoma offensive line class. Come on, man. Cooper Hackett, Caden Penny, Luke Wilson, Isaac Coffrin, Tyson Ross, and now Jackson LAWLER. And as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, man, when Jackson LAWLER showed up to camp at Oklahoma, the Sooners were absolutely blown away by how well he tested athletically. He is an incredible athlete for being the size that he is. And it also just happens to work out that he's a lifelong Oklahoma fan and was all in with the Sooners. The second they told him, hey, get here for the official visit, we want you in the class. 6 offensive linemen now on board for Oklahoma. All of them, by the way, within a radius of about 6 hours from campus, which is impressive.
Yeah, that's nice, too.
It's the best offensive line class that Bill Bedenbaugh has ever signed at Oklahoma, assuming all of these guys do sign. As it stands, this is already the best offensive line class on paper that Oklahoma has ever signed under Bill Bedenbaugh, and in the entire modern era, I would say. They're gunning for 7, though. They're going to keep swinging. They're going to keep fighting the battle for Corey Laga, who just took his Vanderbilt official visit over the weekend and remains uncommitted. I get the sense it's going to be Oklahoma or Michigan State there. Those are the 2 that have really asserted themselves and established a strong foothold in that process. So if the Sooners can land Laga, the blue chipper from Lamont, Illinois, gravy, man. Gravy on what is already a phenomenal class in the offensive trenches.
Yeah, and it's funny that you've got 2 position rooms where you took care of your needs and you've got some insurance too. Usually you don't see that in multiple positions in the same class. Some classes you don't see it in any position where you take care of your needs and get you a couple insurance premiums as well. So, I mean, they set out to take a big class, and boy, have they followed through with that.
That they have. That Tennessee listener followed up and said, Parker, how old are you? Because I am 23, and I have known you as an OU Media member as long as I've been able to pay my own bills. Yeah, I'm not that much older than you. I'm still in my 20s. But I also did get started as an OU Media member pretty young, which was a tremendous blessing.
Are you at the age where people say, because one of my best friends is around your age, and we always make the joke that he's pushing 30? Like, are you at that point where people are talking about you pushing 30?
I'm not too far off from that territory. Not too far off.
Lucas on the YouTube chat says Blaylock has really good film. He should be for sure a 4-star.
Yeah, he does have really good film.
He does.
I like Trenton Blaylock a lot. Make no mistake. And I think ever since Eli Bowen got to Oklahoma and did what he did as a freshman, you don't see as much of this. But in some people's minds, there is that connotation with the younger brother. If they know the older brother for being a stud, like Peyton Bowen was, or like Torrey Blaylock is at Oklahoma, then there are always going to be those that think, oh, well, how good can this kid actually be? 3-star, he's probably just a target for Oklahoma. They're probably just taking his commitment for his brother's sake. Mm-hmm. No, Trent, just like Eli, and just like all the other younger brothers that Oklahoma has taken over the years, he's a really good player in his own right. You think Jim Nagy would be reserving a scholarship for that guy if Jim Nagy didn't believe that Trent Blaylock could provide value?
I was about to say, there's more credence to the argument pre-Jim Nagy than current.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it's not a good old boys club at the University of Oklahoma. If it ever was, those days are over.
A front office doesn't work like that.
If it ever was, those days are over because Jim Nagy has 105 scholarships to allot, and they are all getting allotted to players that he genuinely believes are going to add value to the operation at the University of Oklahoma. 405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. MALAHN Green, JAXON, LAWLER, and, of course, Trent Blaylock, all on board with Oklahoma over the last 72 hours. The Sooners clinging to the number 3 class in the nation right now, according to Rivals. The number 3 class in the country for the 2027 cycle. More from the official visit weekend and more of your questions answered on the First Liberty Bank text line coming up here on the Ref. The home of Sooner fans. Stay right here.
Locked In is brought to you every day by Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno. Dorsey Jones GMC is family-owned and operated with a knowledgeable, low-pressure sales staff here to help you through the buying process and half-price oil changes on Saturdays. Visit dorsey-jonesgmc.com for more information.
For the professional, it's not enough to just possess knowledge. That's why at GMC, we seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries, while pushing the limits. And we put this knowledge to the test in every GMC Sierra by engineering each one to outperform your expectations. So you know you're getting precision and durability when you need it most. And that's what makes the GMC Sierra the truck worth knowing. We are professional grade. See your Oklahoma GMC dealers.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
They don't want to hire you because your paper might say Oklahoma School for the Blind.
I was just completely homebound because I was always too afraid to go outside. I want to be a productive member of society, and that's what DRS has given me.
They offer you opportunities to getting a job, helping you learn how to advocate for yourself, find the best way to try living your life in the fullest way possible.
Oklahoma and DRS has been the biggest blessing in my life.
See me.
And not my disability.
Hey there, Ref Army, it's Dory Noka, name coming in. Host of the Dory Noka Show and lead anchor of the SEC Network. Catch Josh Helmer and myself every weekday, 9 to noon, as we'll talk everything OU and the SEC. No better way to listen to us, 9 to noon, than by downloading the KREF app, powered by Warren Cat. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store, search for KREF, and you'll never miss a show, no matter what, no matter where you go. That's the KREF app, presented by Warren Cat. Whatever the job, whatever it takes.
The City of Norman encourages you to shop local this summer, and what better place to eat, shop, and play local than historic Main Street. With over 67 years of experience, Mr. Robert Fine Furniture and Design stands for quality. Family owned in the heart of Norman, their elegant showroom is filled with unique items from around the globe. Steps from the OU campus, the Noun Hotel offers spacious, thoughtfully designed rooms, Plus, experience Rally Kitchen and Bar, a culinary gym known for exquisite American cuisine. Book your ultimate Norman getaway at the Noun Hotel. Visit Mitchell's Jewelry on Main Street, where Oklahoma gets engaged. A family business known for outstanding customer service and a fabulous selection of high-quality jewelry. Find the perfect gift at Mitchell's Jewelry today. Join the City of Norman and keep it local this summer when you eat, shop, and play.
Are you in need of purchasing your own health insurance? Are you turning 65 and confused about Medicare? Are you an employer looking at offering benefits to your staff? Call the agents at Allison Insurance. They'll sort through the confusion. They're not captive to just one company, and they'll get the best option for you. Don't get frustrated. Call Allison Insurance at 800-580-5587 or 745-2968. Allison Insurance. They are the experts.
Make this the summer event at Lander CDJR of Norman and get hot deals like up to $15,500 off of MSRP on select new 26 Ram 1500 Crew Laramie trucks, and get 2.9% financing for 72 months, or take $15,000 off of MSRP on all new remaining 25 Jeep Wranglers in stock. And as always, get straightforward internet pricing with no special add-ons when you get here. Ram stock number TN179219 must finance with Stellantis Financial for 2.9% for well-qualified buyers. Wrangler stock number SW648169.
I told you we were going to do it, Grayson, and we did it. They're fighting on the text line over Sonic food.
Oh, yeah, of course they were.
Joe Bob from Louisiana said, y'all are dead to me, after we both dissed Sonic's food offerings. Jason M. did say Sonic food is average at best. Dan and Madison weighed in and said, old school Sonic, yes. New wave Sonic sucks.
Joe Bob in Louisiana, I'm going to offer this to you as penance. The mozzarella sticks are fire. Outside of that, the food is still ass. But the mozzarella sticks go hard. Am I back in your good graces with that one? And by the way, I'm not leveraging here. Like, mozzarella sticks are excellent there.
By the way, on the topic of drinkflation, Adam from ATX says, it's because everyone gets free water cups and Steel's drinks. And you know what? If you do that, if you participate in that nonsense, get a life. You're ruining it for all the rest of us. All the rest of us law-abiding, upstanding citizens have to suffer and pay $3.79 for beverages because you morons are asking for water cups and then filling them with soda. You people are the worst.
Oh, that's too good. So wait, you never got a water cup and just put some Sprite in there?
No, never.
You never did that?
Never once in my life. If I want something other than water, I will pay for it.
Okay. All right.
I take it you have, then. You have done this.
Yeah, I was 10 at one point.
Okay, that's fair. You can get away with it when you're 10.
I haven't done this in my adult life.
Good. If you're an adult doing that. If you're a kid, okay, I get it. You're a kid. You get a pass.
Yeah.
For stuff like that. Not repeatedly, but, kids make mistakes on a more regular basis than adults do. If you're an adult asking for a water cup and filling it with soda, you are an idiot. Tommy Boy, on the topic of my ants, says there's a food source they're attracted to. I know, Tommy Boy, I know. I'm just trying to figure out what that is. It might be my entire kitchen at this point, but rest assured, those ants will all be exterminated over the next 48 hours. I am killing them all. Brutally. And in highly gruesome fashion.
Like you did the mice?
Yes. Yes. I don't mess around with pests when it comes to my home.
I can see that.
Glenn from Nashville says, Parker, I ask this question every recruiting cycle. All right, we're getting back to business here. And you usually come up with one or two names for me. Give us a name or two of players that we are not currently talking about that might be surprise additions to our recruiting class before signing day. Here's the thing, Glenn. This is a tougher question to answer than it has been in years past just because It's June 15th, and Oklahoma already has 25 commits.
Yeah.
And this thing's probably going to run north of 30 in the end. But there's so much less to be done than there ever has been in any cycle before that I'm not really sure what answer I can give you outside of what I feel like is the obvious one in Daniel Yebbitt. We're all kind of waiting on Oklahoma to make the move on Daniel Yebbitt. I endorse it. There are many who endorse it. Right now, as of now, it's not something that Jim Nagy and the Oklahoma front office have felt inclined to do. Maybe they will at some point down the line, but I also don't think it would be as a cornerback right now, given where Oklahoma's class stands at that position. It would have to be as either a safety or as a wide receiver. I don't hate Yebbitt at wide receiver at all, man.
I don't either.
Now, Oklahoma did have a safety target on an OV over the weekend. That, of course, was Jaden Fields out of Hutto, Texas. 3-star kid, 6'2", 200. Physically going to be reminiscent of a Michael Boganowski, at least at that stage of his development.
Can we put a pin in this right here? Because 6'2", 200, how has that not gone further toward getting him a 4th star? I mean, with that kind of size.
Because I think the reason, it's a valid question, certainly. The reason is because he's not that fast.
Which is true.
And he has the majority of his film on the offensive side of the ball as opposed to the defensive side of the ball.
Fair enough.
So I think he's a 3-star because he's a 3-star receiver. You know, he might be a blue-chip defensive back when all's said and done, just with the athletic potential that's there. But he has to show more on tape than he has to this point. Coming out of that OV, look, I'm not expecting anything imminent with Jaden Fields. He's going to take his TCU official this upcoming weekend before he makes any decision, but I think Oklahoma's better positioned there than they were before the visit. The main competition, though, is Texas A&M, and Texas A&M, as we discussed, is still that one school that's kind of dangling the carrot of playing offense at the next level, playing wide receiver. Everybody else just wants Jaden Fields at safety. Texas A&M has said, yeah, you know, we'll get you some reps at receiver. We'll try you out both sides of the football. To be clear, that's not happening. And I feel like anybody with half a clue understands that. It's not happening. Jaden Fields will get to Texas A&M, and they will tell him, go play safety. He's not the caliber of receiver, even though I think he's a good one. If he really wanted to go play receiver, I think he could go play receiver somewhere. I don't know that could happen or would happen at A&M, just because A&M got those big fish that they recruit every single year at receiver, and those are the guys that they're probably going to want to rock with at that position more so than a guy who's about a 4.7 guy right now. He'll get faster, obviously, but just doesn't have the electric speed that oftentimes a school like Texas A&M, think about recent guys like Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion, that's not the type that they're looking for.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that one goes over the next 2-3 weeks. I expect Fields to sit down with his folks after the whole OV slate is completed and make an informed decision. Could that be an Oklahoma's favorite? Absolutely could be. But I don't get the sense right now that Oklahoma, grabbed the lead or anything with Fields over the course of the weekend. Now with Case Alexander, this continues to be the most interesting recruitment that Oklahoma's involved with. He took his official visit over the weekend. And let me tell you, man, that kid is one tough read for everybody. He took the OU official. It's his last official. There should not be any more campus trips prior to a decision from Case Alexander. But nobody, and I mean nobody, has a solid handle on what this kid's going to do, man. It's this type of situation that, and you can make comparisons to recruitments of years gone by because every so often you get one like this. But, man, this has been as tough of a deal for the OU staff to sort through, the Penn State staff to sort through, as you can recall in recent memory, because it just feels like nobody knows what's going on in Case Alexander's head. except Case Alexander. And maybe he doesn't even know what's going on in his head. Because, again, like he said in late April, I want to be, ideally, committed before I take my official visits. I want to be able to make a decision before then. Well, he didn't. He couldn't. What does that say? Tells you he's still torn. And so I don't think we're far off from finding out what the decision is going to be. Man, I'm not at all sure which way this is going to go, and nobody is. It's OU or it's Penn State. It's the Sooners or it's the Nittany Lions. And I don't feel like we're any closer to knowing than we were prior to the OV.
And there ain't really much else to say about his recruitment anymore, man.
It's one of those that you just kind of got to be willing to come along for the ride and let the kid do what he's going to do.
Isn't it one of those things where, I mean, we're in the middle of political season, but isn't this just one of those things where all the arguments have been made, all the policy presentations have been disseminated, and now we just got to sit back and let election night play itself out, right? That's kind of how I feel about this one now. It's just like, you've put your best foot forward, so have they. You've played all your cards that you have at your disposal. They've played the ones that they naturally have at their disposal. And we'll find out.
There are several listeners that have asked about Bodie Sparrow, I think hand in hand with the Jaden Fields conversation, because Oklahoma was able to stem the tide with Jalen Scott and Georgia Tech. They got Jalen Scott on campus over the weekend. He's shut down his recruitment. He's not flipping to Georgia Tech. He's going to sign with Oklahoma. Nothing to worry about for the moment there. But Sparrow took his OV to Utah over the weekend. He's due on campus with BYU this upcoming weekend, and I still do believe Oklahoma is best positioned to land him.
Is there a but here?
It's not much of a but.
Okay.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Pause.
The but is definitely BYU, just because of the LDS factors we discussed.
Yeah.
You always got to watch out for that. It's not something that folks on the OU side are super concerned about, but, I mean, a year ago at this time, it looked like Rider Lions was going to be an Oregon Duck, right? And that took a swing for BYU in the last 36 hours of the process. Mm-hmm. So you never can fully discount that, but everything still looks good for Oklahoma with Bodie Sparrow. Sooner Dude asked, nothing against this kid in reference to Fields, but why are we recruiting him if he runs a 4.7? Sooner Dude, I think you would be surprised to learn just how many guys don't run any faster than 4.7 in reality and get recruited to go play P4 football. The world is not full of 4.4 dudes. Regardless of how many would tell you in their Twitter bios or their huddle profiles that they run 4.4s, precious few guys run 4.4s.
Especially at that age.
Correct. And if you have a guy that at this stage can run a 4.7, you can pretty well expect him to be somewhere in the 4.5s by the end of his college career. And that's good enough, man. You're not beefing with 4.5, 4.6 speed.
Especially
at
safety.
Yeah, no shot. That's more than acceptable.
Yeah.
More than acceptable. But obviously, you're going to be far more willing to take a dude who runs 4.7 at safety than you will be to take a dude who runs 4.7 at receiver.
Yeah.
Like MALAHN Green ran a 4.54, I want to say, at OU's camp last week. That was plenty fast. I mean, if you were watching him with the naked eye, that dude's scooting.
Mm-hmm.
And the hope and the expectation would be that you can knock a 10th off that kid's 40 time while he's in college, and he can be a 4.45 guy at the combine one day.
Mm-hmm. Chris from Knoxville saying Bama's getting that BTA at the moment. Yeah, Texas is all over Alabama.
Yes, 7-2 in the top of the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
The Longhorns look like they're going to stay alive and live to fight another day.
Texter in the state of Louisiana says, as a fellow Louisiana native, tell Joe Bob he's not a real Louisianan if he thinks Sonic has good food. That's an insult to the state. As somebody, as somebody who was in the state a week ago, I concur with that.
Come on now, Joe Bob. You got some of the best food in the United States there at your disposal. What are we talking about with Sonic? OU Architect said Parker did not hear the response, but the Lode Holt kid that was camping recently, is he Phil's kid, and what is the skinny on him? Thanks. Yeah, Phil Lode Holt. There is a Phil Lode Holt Jr. who did camp with Oklahoma last week. He's not nearly as big as his dad. He's like 5'11", 6 feet. So Size-wise, probably not an OU guy, but a good player. Like, he's going to go somewhere. He'll play somewhere.
What position is he?
Offensive lineman. Yeah. Interior offensive lineman.
Okay.
Center. Maybe a guard, but probably a center. Tommy Boy asks, what class is the Whitey kid that dominated at receiver during recent camps? This is a fun, quick aside before we hit a break. But
Is that Cooper Hooker?
No, I don't know that we talked about this at all. I know we talked about him on Sooner Scoop. I don't think we talked about him on the show. Carson Lacombe from Piper High School down in San Antonio showed up to OU's camp a couple weeks back, the Friday camp, and just cooked, man. I mean, nobody could touch this kid. And he walked away with an offer, as he very well should have. He's a 4-star guy. Like, he's not an anonymous dude. He's not an unknown. But he is so well put together, like 6'2", 6'3", easily 200, 205, really muscular, just really well-toned physique. He can run. He's got that top-end speed. He's got the route running ability. He's got the ball skills. He's one competitive son of a gun. And OU does look really good for Carson Lacombe early in the process. Matter of fact, Rivals national recruiting analyst Sam Spiegelman already has an RPM prediction in for the Sooners with Lacombe. So, San Antonio Piper, I'd never even heard of that school. Apparently it's pretty brand new.
Neither have I.
But, yeah, he was, I would say, arguably the most impressive overall camp performer next to Kellen Hall of the year for Oklahoma. Amongst the 4 camps that they hosted, I don't know that there was an individual that had a more dominant performance start to finish than Carson Lacombe.
So does this guy get the designation of premium cracker?
He is a premium cracker and then some. The most exciting of whites. Yeah, fun dude. We'll be talking about him a lot.
So like a Pinot Grigio type.
Oh, definitely a Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
What's the top shelf saltine cracker brand? Is it just premium? Is that the brand?
I think it's just like
premium crackers.
Premium crackers, yeah.
Yes, that is Carson Lacombe. No question. 405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. One more segment to come here on The Ref. The home of Sooner fans. Keep it right here.
This is Deion Burks, and you're listening to The Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
Have you tried Coupe 66? It's a light, easygoing lager inspired by the history of the Mother Road. Join us in commemorating 100 years of Route 66 at Coupe Elwork's 17th birthday party. Enjoy an afternoon of food trucks, mechanical bull riding, karaoke, and dozens of specialty beers. This event is 21 and over and takes place May 9th from 1 to 5 p.m. For tickets, visit CoupeElworks.com. Coupe Elworks, the official craft beer of the Ref.
Riverwind Casino has all your summer favorites on deck.
Live music, the hottest games, and even more ways to win.
Hit the high-stakes action or go all in on Premier Poker.
Then keep the good times rolling at the Showpace Theater.
Wildcard players are the real MVPs during our Passport to Prizes giveaway.
Earn entries with every play and win your share of $80,000 on Fridays.
Enjoy the best,
and we'll see you at Riverwind.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it making more money. Spend it making more memories. Spend it learning a new skill. Spend it teaching an old trick. Spend it career climbing. Spend it mountain climbing. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
Feeling stuck in your current home? Now is the best time to make a move. Home Creations is making home ownership more affordable with low interest rate opportunities and special financing. Don't wait. Live like a champion today. Call Holly at 405-364-9999 to find your dream home.
364-9999 means Home Creations.
For the professional, it's not enough to just possess knowledge. That's why at GMC, we seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries, while pushing the limits. And we put this knowledge to the test in every GMC Sierra by engineering each one to outperform your expectations. So you know you're getting precision and durability when you need it most. And that's what makes the GMC Sierra the truck worth knowing. We are professional grade. See your Oklahoma GMC dealers.
For 3 generations, the John M. Ireland & Son Funeral Home and Chapel in Morris continued to serve the community by giving back to local schools, charitable organizations, and first responders.
We provide pre-planning for funerals and cremation services at the most reasonable prices.
We are proud to be a family-owned and operated funeral home.
Award-winning funeral home year after year, our family believes in serving the people of our community.
I'm John Ireland.
And I'm Solon Daniels.
You've got our word on it.
Are you looking to take strokes off your golf game this summer? Tyler McComb is here for Land Run Links, the best golf simulator in Oklahoma City. The Summer Swing Pass is here. For $129 a month, you get 1 hour a day to drill down your game. Work on wedges, irons, or play a full round on thousands of courses around the world, rain or shine. Or take advantage of the summer rates, just $35 an hour Monday through Friday until noon, or $60 Friday evenings through the weekend. Visit landrunlinks.com and book today.
From the bench to your defense. Tracy Schumacher, a former district judge, former Cleveland County prosecutor, and now your voice in a DUI fight. Your driver's license could be at risk. Time is critical. If you've been charged with DUI in Cleveland, McLean, Grady, or Garvin County, you need someone who knows how the system works. Schumacher Law Group at 405-701-1882 or visit lawgroupok.com. From the bench to your defense when experience matters.
Touchdown, Schooner time. Raise a can of Schooner All-American Ale brewed by Coop Ale Works, the official craft beer of OU Athletics. Join the 82,000 OU faithful cheering in the stadium no matter where you are, celebrating a Sooner win. Boomer!
Hit us up in the First Liberty Bank text line if you got any questions you want answered coming out of Oklahoma's official visit weekend. 405-651-3439 is how you get a hold of us. Shoot us a text. Parker, Thune, Grayson, Singleton with you here in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios. We've addressed this question before, but we'll do it again. I think this is a natural juncture to do so, fresh off of MALAHN Green's commitment to Oklahoma over the weekend. Austin from Norman said, Parker, seems like they went away from size at wideout this cycle. Why do you think that is? Well, I think it has to do with the composition of the wide receiver room, Austin. When you look at the guys that Oklahoma is losing next year to graduation, they're losing Isaiah Satania, Jermichael Carter, and, oh gosh, who am I forgetting? Isaiah Satania, Jermichael Carter, and Trell Harris. That's right, Trell Harris. So those three are set to graduate. And the one that's going to hurt the most is the loss of Satania. No question about it. He's been the most productive at Oklahoma. He has been the most productive in a Sooner uniform and been most productive over the course of his whole collegiate career. In a comprehensive sense, Trell Harris might have, he's got a case. He's got a case. He had a really impressive season at Virginia last year. Not quite the season that Satania had at Oklahoma, and certainly not against the level of competition that Satania faced at Oklahoma. But Trell Harris is a good player in his own right. The point, though, is that you have to replace Isaiah Satania. And you have to replace a speed guy in the room, a field stretcher. And so if you're going to replace a field stretcher, you want to bring in a field stretcher. And Oklahoma's bringing in two with Graydon Howell and MALAHN Green. Moreover, there's not really a need to pursue size in the wide receiver room as of now because Oklahoma's rostering, we ran this down last week, 7 scholarship receivers right now that are 6'3" or taller. So Oklahoma's not prioritizing size in the 27 class at receiver because size doesn't need to be a priority with where they're at as far as the overall composition of that room.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, we ran this down, I believe it was on Thursday, but Jaden Petit, Daniel Lodum, Elijah Thomas, Manny Choice, ZZ Okafaleze. There's just 5 right there that I rattled off. So, I mean, you said it. There isn't a pressing need for that archetype of wide receiver right now. And you just don't want to you don't want to get in the habit of just stacking a bunch of the same dudes and neglecting another archetype of wide receiver. That is needed, by the way. Like, there's a reason Isaiah Satena's impact was what it was with his role, because they need that. So you got to make sure that you replenish the things that you need and don't just get, happy and careless with one thing that may look more imposing.
And here's the difference, and here's why Oklahoma likes Graydon Howell and MALAHN Green a whole heck of a lot more than they liked Zion Reagans or KJ Daniels or, even Brennan Thompson when he was here. And he turned out to be a good player. But,
he's bigger than them.
He is. Not by much, but he's bigger. Brennan Thompson, during his playing days at Oklahoma, was about 5'9", 170. Those other guys were about 5'8", 155 apiece. So small guys. But, yes, Graydon Howell and MALAHN Green are bigger than those old F-16 types in the wide receiver room at Oklahoma. But also, they're football players, right? They're not just guys who can run fast on a track and you throw pads on them and they're just as fast or almost as fast. They're not just field stretchers. They're not one-dimensional. MALAHN Green, he's got some muscle on that frame. Man, and he's competitive. He can run through contact. It shows up on tape. That's one thing that really, really excited the Oklahoma staff when they first got eyes on him. Graydon Howell is just a very well-rounded overall athlete. His athletic profile is magnificent. State champion in the 200 and 400 on the track, all-time leading scorer in basketball at Broken Bow High, outstanding baseball player who may wind up playing baseball at Oklahoma. Football, baseball, that's not an unprecedented two-sport load. So that could be on the table for Howell as well. And then
is he OU good at baseball? Is he that good?
He's that good.
Okay.
Yeah. And in football, he held offers at 4 different positions.
Right.
Before he committed to Oklahoma. Quarterback, running back, receiver, defensive back. He could have chosen his own adventure. So MALAHN Green and Graydon Howell are 2 exceptional overall athletes. Whereas Zion Reagans and KJ Daniels, and I hate to make examples of them, but they are guys that Oklahoma flushed out of the system just because they weren't really going to use them, at least not in the role that Jeff Lebby had designated for them before he took the head coaching job at Mississippi State. Reagans wound up there with him. That's great for him, but those are track guys whose speed translates to the football field. They're not terribly developed as football players outside of that one trait. Oklahoma doesn't want a bunch of one-trick ponies in the receiver room. And so they're going to find guys that all have impressive athletic profiles, that all complement each other, and all add a little bit of something different in that room. TK Sooner says, there has been one receiver in the last 25 years, 6'3" or taller, that has been an all-conference type of guy for multiple years, or for that matter, has had close to 1,000 yards. One guy at Oklahoma, TK Sooner, or one guy overall? Because
I was about to say, I can name one that was in Knoxville, Tennessee recently.
Yeah, and there are quite a few big receivers in recent years that have excelled other places. But you're right, at Oklahoma, the Malcolm Kelly type, and maybe that's who you're referring to, but historically, guys like that don't abound in large numbers at Oklahoma anyway, and even when Oklahoma does have dudes like that on the roster, they aren't the ones that are piecing together the enormous productive resumes. Glenn from Nashville asked, speaking of baseball and football, is Nesta still playing baseball or has he pivoted solely to football? Yeah, Nesta's all football at this point. James Nesta is no longer a member of the baseball program. I'm sure he wishes he probably would have stuck around another year, though.
I was about to say, this year would have been a nice year to be a part of that.
He'd be up in Omaha right now. The ghost of Buki's Warhammer says, you heard it here first. Size truly doesn't matter, and sometimes isn't even the preference. Quite literally huge for the program. Glad we could provide you with some solace, sir.
Boy, there was a joke there.
Yes. Many of them. Tommy Boy says, in reference to Carson Lacombe, yeah, that's the dude. He smoked every DB and had glue on his gloves. Were you there, Tommy Boy? Were you there at camp? Yeah, Carson Lacombe, anybody there could have told you. Yeah, the white kid in the yellow helmet, he's the best dude out there. He was a ball.
Yellow helmet?
Yeah, he was wearing a yellow helmet.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. What else we got? on the First Liberty Bank text line before we wrap up here. Santa John says, why don't we sick Jason Witten on Cooper Alexander? Well, that would be illegal. That is frowned upon. Can't tamper. We still live in a world where everybody outside of Texas Tech at least plays by the rules. Everybody exploits the loopholes, but the rules, as they are clearly defined, indicate that you cannot sick Jason Witten on Cooper Alexander.
No, you cannot.
Now, come this offseason, you want to work the back channels, see about where that might go. Yeah, you can do that. Everybody does that these days. But I also don't think Cooper Alexander is ever going to be leaving Penn State. The relationship with Matt Campbell and that staff run deep. Like, that's the reason why it's such a tough decision for Case Alexander, is because that staff has had a rock-solid relationship with him and his folks for over 3 years now. Those are tough bonds to break. And frankly, man, you give it up, and you should give it up to Nate Dreiling and Brent Venables for keeping Oklahoma in the fight this long. Because there was a time, January, February, thereabouts, there was a time it just looked like Case Alexander was going to commit to Penn State, and that was going to be that. And it'd be over. And Oklahoma was able to prolong this battle, drag it into OV season, ultimately position themselves to get the last OV from Case Alexander. And from this point, man, let the chips fall where they may. We'll see what happens. If he winds up going to Penn State, at least you know that Oklahoma staff did literally all that could be done to keep that kid within state lines.
Sooner fan 4439 on the YouTube chat says, why is Grayson doing content on SMU's Locked On? Huh, you found my side job, man. You found my second job. Yeah, he's texted that in a couple of times on the text line, too. No, yeah, a lot of us have multiple jobs.
A lot of us have multiple jobs.
You'd be surprised how many people, especially at Parker and I's age and around there, who have multiple jobs in this industry.
That's the way you got to do it.
That's a normal thing.
It's quite literally the way you have to do it. You know where I will be headed in 3 minutes? Over to the offices of Soonerscoop.com.
Yeah, we don't all just work here.
A lot of us could not pay the bills if we only had one job in this profession. So that is our lot in life. The overwhelming majority of us work multiple gigs, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? We love it.
I mean,
we
still
love this
getting
life.
paid just to talk.
Yeah. We got it good. Let's not get it twisted. We got it good. Frisco Sooner says, look at the history of great OU wide receivers. The vast majority of all of them were undersized, besides maybe CD. I think more important than size at wide receiver is the team's ability to run the football. All of those guys I was referring to played on teams that had great run games, and I believe that frees the receiver position up. And obviously it doesn't hurt to have great QBs, as they all did. That's such a great point, Frisco Sooner, because and it's a reality that I regurgitate from time to time when it warrants a mention. But in the Lincoln Riley era years, I mean, you think back to the Lincoln Riley era years and what images flash through your mind. Baker Mayfield slinging the rock around to Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews and CeeDee Lamb and Grant Calcaterra and Lee Morris and Michael Jones and the whole crew. Here's what you probably don't remember, or what you're probably not aware of. Oklahoma ran the ball more than they threw the ball over the course of the Riley era at OU. It was about a 55-45 split in favor of the run. And so you're exactly right, Frisco Sooner. I'm glad you brought it up. You're 1,000% on the money. If you can't run the football, everything else about your offense, its entire functionality, is going to be far less effective. Everything starts with being able to run the football, especially in a league like the SEC. And you do that effectively, you do that successfully, it's going to open up far more opportunities for your receivers to make plays if indeed you have playmakers at that position. And Oklahoma certainly does, and they will continue to in the years ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this fine Monday installment of Locked In. Thanks so much for making us part of your afternoon. Coming up next here on The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. It is The Rush with Teddy Lehman and Tyler McComas. They got you for the next 3 hours. But for Grayson Singleton, I am Parker Thune. And we will do it all again tomorrow. Same time, same place. You're on the Ref. Thanks to Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno. Thanks to First Liberty Bank. Thanks to all of you. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.